Good morning from Athens. It is really nice to be off the ship. As much as I loved it, it's also kind of nice to have some freedom, just be able to walk around and do what I want to do, not to queue off to get off the ship. But today we're gonna be doing what I love doing in every big city and what I recommend to you if you ever travel, especially to Europe. Go on a free walking tour, get a little sense of the history, have an excuse to walk around the city, and also meet some other tourists. I probably did the one in Athens 2 or 3 times already, but I always forget the history. And it's also kind of just a nice way for them to take you to the best spots. And it's free. Just tip them $10, they're happy. But first, let's start the day with some coffee. By the way, the bakers in Greece are pretty good. Look at all this nice stuff. Here's my double espresso in the morning. All right, I got myself my coffee, and we're gonna go to the metro station now. By the way, this is this kind of center downtown, and it's not the nicest area, but this is where the cheap Airbnbs and hotels are. And it's not far because it's right by the metro. Athens has probably, for thousands of years, been a place where everybody is welcome, no matter how poor you are. The drug addicts are here, but it is what it is, guys. I've made other videos about it in the past. I've come to terms with it. Athens has a lot of beautiful places as well. I'm going to show you that today, but also it has a lot of problems.
This is Omonia, Athens, Greece, and in my opinion, it is home to the worst drug-ridden streets I've ever seen. Coming from West Africa, where cannabis is as common as morning coffee and societal rules are often flexible, I thought I'd seen it all, but Omonia takes it to another level. And what makes it stand out is that it's happening right in the center of the European capital.
The longer I've lived, the more I've seen, I've realized that in this world, we unfortunately have 2 choices. We can have democracy, where everything's kind of fair for everyone, or we can have the opposite, which is an authoritarian dictatorship, where nobody can really have any rights except for the top-down power. And they both have the pros and cons. But personally, though, sometimes it seems from the outside like it might be worth a gamble just trusting all the power to one person. It's also a huge risk. So I think democracy is still the better option, even with the problems we have. And this year we have an option, we have a choice. We're gonna miss this. Made it. One of the biggest problems in Athens is if you miss the train, it takes like 10 or 15 minutes for the next one to come, and there's no Wi-Fi signal and there's no cellular signal, so you're just standing there for no reason. It sucks. All right, one more station. So one of the nice things about Acropolis station, probably unlike any of the world, you can already see ancient artifacts that were dug up from this metro. One really annoying bottleneck is needing to scan out again. So unlike in Ukraine where you can just walk out, here you have to use a ticket again. Kind of like in London. As terrible as many things during the Soviet times war, the one thing that they did really well was build infrastructure, communal infrastructure, like the metro systems. They're way better than in the West, like in New York or in London or here in Greece. Because when you start thinking, when you think city planning for everyone in like this communist way, often it works better. But there are downsides. The downsides were, you couldn't really own your own car. You have to go on a wait list, or only certain people can afford it. But at the same time, I argue kind of life is better when everyone takes the metro. Here we are, the Acropolis. I'm sure you've seen this beautiful place. One cool thing about Greece is they cannot charge more than 50 cents for water. And the prices stayed the same forever.
Thank you.
I noticed the water is like 50 cents for 10 years now. It's still 50 cents only, yeah?
Yeah.
It's very cheap, yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very, very, very.
So as you can probably tell already, this is the touristy areas of streets. If you walk around here, if you live around here, it's really safe. It's just like a touristy area. But if your Airbnb or hotels anywhere outside of this, you'll see something completely different. I didn't film it yesterday because I didn't want to get stabbed, but I walked past a block where there was literally, I want to say 40 to 50 heroin users just laid out on the street, and I had to pass it to get to the main street. But the thing is, for some reason, the drug addicts here in Athens are not dangerous. As long as you're not putting a camera in their face, you're not doing anything. As long as you're just walking by, they're kind of like sleeping zombies. You know those movies where if you disturb them, they'll get up and be very violent. But if you don't, you just walk by, they're actually fine. So I can actually see my tour group over here, but decided to have a little coffee first. Also, I forgot, Greece, or at least Athens, is one of those weird places where you have to specify if you want it for here to go, and you can't change your mind. Because I think there's some weird tax laws if you sit down or if you take it. So I asked for it to go, but even though I decided, no, maybe I'll sit down for a minute, and like, no, you have to take it. See, prices are really good. So even at like a touristy place like this, for $2 or $3, you can get, thank you, F10 you can get a nice coffee.
The British people, we got the name of the state. This is the first flag of Greece. This was the first one, with just the blue and the white cross.
9 stripes for freedom or death.
Yes. By the way, next time.
So we just started the tour and we learned what the stripes on the flag mean. So blue and white, you could say it's for the sea or for the 330 days of blue sky year. But the 9 stripes were later added. So this is the original one, original Greek flag, and the new one for the 9 syllables of their motto, which is freedom or death. I can't pronounce it. It's funny, I've taken this tour like 3 times at different companies, and we're looking at different things all the time. Such a big historical city.
Yeah. Well, 20 BC, it was right after the Romans came to Athens, around 88 BC.
Really beautiful. The Tower of the Winds. Gorgeous. Oh, this is a clock with this little metal thing of the shadow.
So, what about
cool.
also?
Panorama snimka πρώτα.
So, this building, there used to be walls around it. There used to be a little roof. Yes.
So this was an old market and actually a public bathroom as well. Crazy, right?
This is where everything falls down. And Athena.
So we just learned some really interesting history about Athena, which is what the city is named after. According to Greek mythology, she was born and it popped out of someone's head. It was crazy stuff. But what could be true is she and Poseidon had a battle of who's going to be the god of the city. Poseidon put his trident in the city and had a spring of salt water, so we'll have more fish. And she went to the top of the Acropolis and put down her sword thing and said, we'll have our first olive tree. And olives became the export of Athens and of Greece, to have money, to have peace, to have food, to have trade, and also to have peace. Because the term we extend a olive branch for peace basically means like, we'll give you our olives, I'll give you olive oil, let's have a good relationship. So, yeah, really interesting.
Special place, it's called the Horizon. Are you looking for the entrance? Yeah. To the museum, it's a pretty good value for money. Until April, you had a combo ticket to the Acropolis. You just paid €5 more and you had access to all the archaeological sites. Now it's gone. Sorry. So now that's why all the sites are super empty. You saw the Roman Agora, it looked closed. So that's a shame. But remember, this is the temple, the one who cracked the head of Zeus in Hephaestus. It is the most well-preserved temple from all the temples from ancient Greece. In all the ancient Greek world, you know, from everywhere, from Turkey to Italy. So we cannot be in this public space. Oh, we're attacked. Without talking about democracy. And I asked you what means acro and polis. Now it's time for demos and kratos. Any idea? Yes. Yes.
Oh, democracy.
Yes. Demos, it's the people, and kratos is the state. But it's also a verb. Kratao titsadem. I'm holding my bag.
So on this hill, this is actually where they would meet for the monthly discussions of democracy to figure out what they want to do in the city, how much to pay for services, how much which countries to invade, things like that. And they said that to be able to participate, you had to have both your parents born in Athens, you had to be born in Athens, you had to own land, and you had to be a free person. So you couldn't be a slave. You also couldn't be a woman. So it was their first kind of form of democracy here, and this is kind of what the world has built upon. And I'm sure there's a lot of problems, but at the same time, it was one way to kind of guarantee to keep that way of life and things not change too quickly. Definitely pros and cons to that. Democracy is a very fragile system with lots of rules, and what's really crazy is every year you can vote for one citizen to be banned from Athens.
This broken piece of pottery in ancient Greek, it's called ostraka, giving the name of the vote.
Ostracized.
Yes,
Oh,
ostracized.
nice. An ostrich.
When you start learning Greek, every single word you learn is like, you know, everything is like this. Vote it out. Really? Because usually,
You must have been really.
it's usually like people who did great things or they had great ideas. They didn't want to be a simple citizen, and they started to be like, I want more. You know, we're like that as humans. You know, we want more power. And a lot of people were really scared that they would be potential tyrants. So that's a way to anticipate that. Yes. And so you need also it's just one person per year, and it's the majority with at least 6,000. You can choose to take your wife and kids or not. You just choose whatever you want. And after 10 years, you're supposed to be able to come back to Athens. Nothing happens to you. Everything is fine. Yes.
That's fair. So we were talking about who we would exile if we could vote on a piece of glass. You don't have to be in it. couple people mentioned the current president. I won't say who I'm going to vote for. I'm not political on this channel. But really, really beautiful country, beautiful city, with a really interesting political system and democratic system. So much history started right over here. Really, really beautiful place, guys. So to go inside, you do need to buy a ticket, but what I like is everything is kind of open anyway, so you can actually see all of it. You just can't physically touch it, which I don't think you should be touching these old rocks anyways. Yeah, but literally everything's out in the open, which is really cool. You basically sold the entire place, just walking around. So this beautiful door behind me, this actually used to be the prison in the city center that the Ottomans used when they were occupying Athens. And even when the Greeks had liberation, they decided to keep it. And it was a place to, keep all the traitors and everything. Traitors, not traitors, but the Greeks hated it. Everyone hated it. And unfortunately, they just kept it just because it was a good prison, even though it was really dirty and unsanitary. And it's right in the city center. But then one day there was a lightning storm, and the legend has it that Zeus struck it down, burned down the big tree, destroyed it, and the people were like, "Oh, see, Zeus answers our wishes."
But still, the language, the religion, the Orthodox Christianity.
It actually was really interesting. She was talking about this period after liberation of Greece for the Greeks, and how it became a state. And there was coexistence for 400 years between Ottomans who were living here and the Christian Greeks. But in history books in Greece, you always learn how bad the Ottomans were, how bad the Turkish were. And then if you go to school in Turkey, they'll learn how much they've done for Greece and how much they didn't appreciate it. And that's a very complicated subject where they fight with each other about. It's been a really nice walk. I'm glad I came on this. Nice, beautiful church, guys. Perfect timing. The rest of the Nomad Cruisers on a different tour, actually, but in the same spot. I didn't go into the other church, but let's pop our head in real quick and take a look at this one. All right, so we're having a quick break, and I ordered myself a Freddo Espresso, which means cold espresso, iced espresso. Technically, it's an Italian thing, but they don't actually drink it in Italy. But it's really popular here in Greece, and you can also get it with whipped cream, which I highly recommend. But today, this morning, because I haven't eaten anything yet, I'm just gonna get it back. They're the girls from our walking tour. Tu quero café? I recommend this Freddo. Thank you. I've tried to stuff. They have like an ice coffee. That's really nice.
In Greece, but he was the head of the church, kind of the head of the community of the Greeks there. There was another war between Greece and 222. The Turkish troops are ready to enter Smyrna, actual Izmir.
So she's sharing a story about the Caprice biscuits that are brought over by the Greek Christians who were forced to leave Turkey after the war ended in exchange. And there was a lot of trauma. Like there was after the war, to kind of finalize the war, 500,000 Ottoman Muslims had to leave Greece, were forcefully deported to Turkey. But then 1.5 million Christian Greeks had to leave Turkey to come here. And it was, absolutely terrible. People were homeless. People just hung around the port, didn't know what to do. Some businesses started, like the biscuits, but I can imagine how terrible it was. But it also worked, because there hasn't been a war since. And that's something to think about. Sometimes you have to wonder what's better after a big war. Is it to deport everyone and have peace, or have this kind of uncomfortable kind of co-living where a war may start out in the future? But this is the Caprice cookies. Guys, I'm so glad I'm not part of this tour, because look how huge it is. It's probably one of the port tours. Oh my god.
It can also explain this number, 96.
So this little tiny building is actually a church, a Christian church that was built during the Ottoman times. Back then, the Christians weren't allowed to build big churches, so they built a small one, but it actually has a big underground cavern that they used to hide artifacts and gold and stuff like that. But during the revolution, they actually used it as a military base to just hide ammunition that was never found. And as usual, I hear some kind of demonstration happening. There's always going to be some protest here. Just like the French, they love protesting in Athens, probably even more. They love to see the Communist Party. I'm shocked. Like communism has ever worked anywhere in the world. But you know what? The promise of free money, free housing, free everything is always good, right? I understand why people think communism will work. It sounds good if you're poor. You're like, oh, I get everything for free. I get free housing. Everyone's paid equally. It never works, guys. It's never worked. It's never going to work, because there's always going to be some assholes on top who are going to want more, and assholes on the bottom who want to do less. So stop trying communism. It doesn't work, guys. I know democracy is not perfect, but it's the best we have. Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. This is the parliament.
Also a bit behind. Now they're not doing the changing of the guard, even if it looks very much the same. They're actually just exchanging places. The changing of the guard in front of the tomb of the unknown soldier that's behind it is every hour. So it's going to be at 1 o'clock exactly.
So these shields are symbols of every battle from ancient times to current times. And these soldiers, these guards, are here to protect that memory of all the ancient soldiers. Hopefully there will never be another war. So over there's a memorial for the train victims that died in a crash, and it was due to corruption. It was illegal fuel that there was some kind of government contract for, someone making money from it, and the train system was so old and crappy, even though they had the money to fix it for 30 years, just, you know, people stole the money, and unfortunately 57 students died, and somehow mysteriously a lot of the evidence disappeared, and there was a big protest against this, and hopefully there'll be some justice, but people doubt it. The one thing though about the Greek government is I've asked Greek people, I said, when was the last, they're always complaining about the government, how terrible it is, and I asked them, I said, when was the last time you had a good government? And nobody can think of one. And I say, you know, at the end of the day, you have a democracy and people keep voting for bad people. When is it the Greek people's fault that they keep falling for the lies of politicians who overpromise and underdeliver? Just like in the US with our latest election, we have a politician who promised everything, promised lower cost of living, promised lower prices, more housing, to end wars in 24 hours, yet he's doing the exact opposite. When is it our fault that we keep voting for authoritarian, for corrupt governments?
The Army Song.
250 years later, America stands tall, America stands proud, and America stands free. We're the hottest country in the world right now.
The unit before you is a platoon from the Multi-Purpose Company's 2nd Battalion, 327th Infantry Regiment.
Our democracy is in jeopardy, and we want to speak out while we still can.
And here, it's not like you have Republicans and Democrats. You have different parties that keep winning because they keep promising, oh, don't worry, prices will go down, everybody will have more jobs, everything, you know, everybody will be richer. And people keep falling for it. You have to ask, how is this gonna, like, what is your policies? How are you gonna make it happen? You can't just vote for whoever's gonna promise you the most if they don't have a way to actually deliver it. Or at least a plan to how they're gonna deliver it. That's the sad part.
Well, this is the first main protest of modern Greece. The people are asking for an assembly, they're asking for a council back, and they're asking for public apologies too, that's very important.
So we learned the history of these gardens right across from the old palace, which is Constitution Square. Septima means the Constitution in Greece, in Greek. And it's actually fascinating history that I somehow didn't learn in the first 2 walking tours I've done. But basically, after the victory of the Greeks that had help from many other countries, European countries, a German prince, actually named Otto, ironically, even though they fought against the Ottomans, he was, you know, basically ruling over this city, and his wife, who was German, decided to make this beautiful garden, which used to be the private garden of the palace, but now it's the public park. And eventually they created the Constitution as well, which is why it's Constitution Square.
Mael. M-A-E-L.
Myla,
Yes.
best guide. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your presence and your energy.
A-E-L.
Yes, so M-A-E-L, it's how it's pronounced.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I forgot to tell
So
you.
this is the
if you're hungry
Norwegian.
now,
What is it?
Norwegian Palace.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
And these it's not
So this is the famous gyros place. The line's not too long, so we'll try it. Yeah. So guys, we just got done with the free walking tour. How did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I loved it. I've seen a lot of good places.
Well, do you remember it was like a favorite takeaway from it?
I love that little tiny church that's like the hotel is built around. It's like a little hidden gem, but there's so many little hidden things that you wouldn't have caught otherwise.
I don't know, I just love walking the city.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I just love walking in and hearing stuff a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite.
I agree. I highly recommend it. I'll link them down below. And she's a good guide, so I recommend it. And let's see how good this Slovakia place is. Guys, I'm talking to these people online from Australia and how fucking expensive it is there. So, like a coffee you said was how much?
like $6.
$6 for a coffee. 6 to 10? Oh my.
Like $10 for a double shot.
And if you want like avocado toast and a coffee
Okay, probably $30.
each, that is crazy, guys. And she's from Norway and it's even more there. I would hate that. You spend $10 a day on coffee for one coffee. One coffee.
What? Just one.
That's insane. Does it have cognac in it, or?
It's just a large cappuccino with an extra shot.
That's crazy for a double cappuccino. That's insane.
$5
Never going to Australia. Fuck Sydney. Never going there. Never going to Australia, guys.
I'm sitting.
And this line never gets smaller. Everything is on the grill. So this is the pork souvlaki. I've had a stop. Thank you. And this is the beef. Let's try the pork. Let's see if this is worth the wait. I'm gonna see which one's better.
Man, looks good.
This is the beef one.
You are recording yourself?
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
This is softer. That one's more meaty, but both are good. Okay, guys, I just finished my gyros with my new Brazilian friends. Hello.
Yo.
Hello.
Nice, so nice.
You like it, gyros?
Gyros with beer.
Perfect combination, yeah. Very good. I prefer the shawarma gyros better, but still very tasty. Worth coming. This is the first time these English people have ever seen real food. It's not fried. But look at this line, it gets crazier and crazier. All right, I just got done eating my two souvlakis, which are the grilled stick skewers in pita bread, and they were good. I mean, definitely you have to try it, but honestly, I don't think it's worth the 1 hour wait in line. But I do like and appreciate that how authentic they are. It's a little mom and pop business still, family owned, and it does taste very authentic. So you should probably do it once, even though I don't recommend waiting in line. Now I gotta walk back through Satigma Square, which is really, really busy. And judging by these police wagons, there's probably a protest going on, as always. And right by the metro station, I think this is a Pride festival or parade from all the different flags I see, but who knows what this is. I just want to get to the metro station, but I have to walk through this. There's no other way. Oh, there it is. Metro station's right there. Back to the metro station. When you buy tickets, always buy at least 5. That way you don't have to wait in line every time. Oh, it's on this side. 6 minutes and then 14 minutes. So it looks like it comes every 9 minutes or so on the weekend, which is not very often. And to make it worse, there's never any cell phone reception. So you're just sitting here for 9 minutes at a time. People watching. Guys, we have made it. What the heck is a Leap motor? This looks like a copy of a kind of a Range Rover, or maybe like a Rolls Royce even. Looks like the cops are cracking down, but this is where the drug addicts alley is. It's crazy. Actually, what's really crazy is the cops just like checked a few things and then left. So they weren't cracking down, they were just checking. I don't know what they were checking, but everyone's still there doing drugs. Welcome to the other side of Athens, guys. As much as I would like to say I have a solution for the drug problem, it's complicated and I don't. And unfortunately, I don't think anyone really has that great of a black and white solution for it. On one hand, there are some countries that don't have a drug problem at all, like Singapore, which is a kind of the best of both. They're technically not a democracy, but at the same time, they have a lot of freedom. They happen to have a good leader, but even Singapore has corruption problems. I think they've actually got rid of a lot of the government officials over time, but they're quick to do it, and they have a system where they can get rid of them if someone becomes too authoritarian or kind of a dictatorship, if that makes sense. Other countries, like the US, we have too much freedom, and it's such a big population that it just becomes a problem that gets overwhelmed because people have money to spend. People give money to homeless, and those homeless sometimes stay on the streets. In Athens, they have even more complex host of problems. Not to mention you have a lot of refugees here, a lot of immigrants here from places like Syria and like Pakistan, and kind of hard places. A lot of them work as like day laborers with really hard jobs, low money. But either way, it's a very complicated situation, and I don't have the answers to it. And it's sad to see it. I don't want to see anyone go through that. So I'm gonna leave that up to the experts in the comments to tell me what the solution is, because I don't know what it is, to be honest. I think if you asked me when I was younger and more naive, I would have thought I didn't know, but now I understand how complicated things are. Life is hard, guys. Life isn't easy. It's easy to fall into a trap. It's hard to get back out of it. Like, this guy's an old guy sleeping on the streets. How is he supposed to get back on the street? He's supposed to find a job now in his old age. Though this one actually looks pretty comfortable, to be honest. But still, I'm sure he'd rather be in a house. I will say one thing though. In places, the one thing that places like this have in common, that with a lot of homeless people on the streets, is good weather. Because if you live in a place like Ukraine, we have harsh winters. Sleeping on the street, being homeless isn't possible. You could do it for a few months in the summer, but then you have to figure something out. You either have to find a permanent solution, find a job, find a shelter, and move somewhere else. And that's why we don't have these issues in Ukraine. A lot of issues, but homelessness and drug addicts isn't one. Anyways, welcome back to my hotel. Hope you enjoyed the walk. Yes, guys. I am walking now to dinner to meet up with all the Nomad cruisers. I'm wearing the shirts. I organized a little dinner before our official meetup. So even though I'm in the hood, I'm actually a pretty short walk to all this cool stuff. This was about 10-15 minutes away. And you can see this is like where all the cool restaurants and bars and everything are. So that's how small this city is. I could have also just taken the metro from one station, but I figured it's a nice day. It's a nice walk, so. But yeah, look at this old historical building and all this disgusting graffiti. This is Athens for you. Kind of have both. And you know the tourists as well. Really beautiful information. You can see the Acropolis from here as well. Have all these seats outside. Actually, when I made the reservation, they asked if I wanted an inside table. I said, no, let's sit outside because it's nicer. It's a nice day, but they were surprised. So like, we have AC. I'm like, I don't think we do. It's not peak summer yet. In July, August, it's gonna get so hot that it'll be unbearable. But I think for now, we're still okay. But look how cute this little bar is. Varus. Maybe I'll come here another day.
How about the food? We have very nice.
Gypsy jungle. There's enough gypsies here. We don't need the restaurant named after them. As a tourist, if you're only in these areas, you're like, wow, such a beautiful city, so much history. And then you go just like literally a 10-minute walk away. You're just like, man, there's like a lot going on. But if you just stay in this kind of super center area, it's a very cool place. Beautiful flowers as well. Go hanging out. Such a dichotomy, guys. It's such a weird dichotomy. I know we have homeless people in the US. I know we have like drug addicts and fentanyl, all that, but it's not like this close to everything. And it's not like, I don't think it's this widespread. Hopefully it never gets that widespread. But like, I mean, I guess downtown LA, yeah, you can be a few blocks over and see it, but here it feels even more extreme. The other thing that's extreme is the traffic. I don't know why anybody takes a taxi in this city. Unless you have luggage, don't take a taxi, guys. Take the metro or walk. Wow. Or scooter, I guess. Another easy way to get around. Okay. Let's see where is our restaurant. See right over here. Here we go. Oh, tunnels. Oh, wow. It might be really, really sunny to be outside. It's huge. There's actually a lot of tables out here, so maybe inside would have been better, actually. They said it's not this restaurant. There's two Otanas next to each other. That's going to be confusing. Okay. Maybe it's this one. What's the difference? Well, let's find out. Well, this is the one. This is it. We have a nice table right here. And I hope people can find me, but let me send a photo. Yeah, what's up there?
Photo or video?
First video. Oh, thank you. Oh, Yamas. Yamas, guys. And then a photo. We have more and more nomads showing up. And we just ordered our mains. Hey guys, welcome to the new people. Let's make another toast. Welcome. Salud. Cheers. Cheers, everyone. Welcome. Cheers. You know what's so funny? We ordered you another glass, so you could put, so like, you could pour that into there and stop. Yeah. That's okay.
Fit in, I'm not sure.
Sure. So this is some yogurt kebab dish. Looks so good. Here is the souvlaki, the chicken. Everybody has some nice looking food. Can I say it again? Guys, I want to propose a toast for all of our new friends. If it wasn't for the cruise, maybe we would have never met, but maybe it was fate. So, anyways, we are here today. Cheers. Cheers. We even have a serenader. Wrong country. It's not Italy anymore. Really great place. Live music. Cool vibes. Yeah. This is Athens, guys. Ooh. Okay, let's go. All right, so we had an amazing dinner. 5 bottles of wine, 14 people. Guess how much it costs? How much would all that be in your country? It was 325 euros, so about 350 bucks. amazing dinner.
Yeah, amazing dinner.
I think even in Taiwan it'd be more expensive.
I believe so. Actually,
Yeah, it's crazy. Now we're gonna go to the official Nomad Foods after party.
The best Greek salad I ever had.
Wow, so we had like three.
Yeah, we got like 4.
Yeah. Yeah, we just kept ordering more and more food. It was so good. And we're looking for Noah. Here we go. Yeah. Hello. Yo, 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 yo. Hello. Hello. All right, now we have made it to the official party. Woo! All right, we ordered a bottle of bubbly. It's like our idols, our gods. I don't think you're gonna drink any. No? Okay.